Welcome back to another Lit Cast. I'm Rita.
I'm Tulicaa.
I'm Chase.
I'm Ellie. And today we're going to be talking about like science fiction and like some of the works we read and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should start with like the Velt and talk about like aspects of that.
Yeah.
So like we can talk about like how like the technology in the house like affected the family. So like what do you guys think about that?
Okay, well, personally, I think that the parents just like completely disregarded their kids and just like kind of let the house like raise them on their own, which like led to like problems in the kids, as we can clearly see, because they did bad things. So I think it was like kind of technology's fault, but also like the parents' fault.
But I feel like it could almost be justified. Like they had a reason. Like they were kind of targeting their parents. I feel like because they didn't raise them the way they should have been.
I don't think the kids should have done what they did, but I mean, I guess I kind of get why they did it. I mean,
the parents like abused technology, and when they wanted to like go back to like being like normal, like or like our normal, like they couldn't because their kids were so like used to the technology, and they like.
But then like at the same time, it's like obviously their kids are gonna be upset if they've grown their whole life with like a technology, and then they just take it away.
They're losing something they've known their whole life.
Yeah, like towards the end, they actually started trying to like parent by like taking away the technology, but
that wasn't the right.
It was too far gone. Like there was no saving.
Yeah, and like they said like they'd been like in there like for like a month like doing the same like kind of like line
and like they also talked about how like the outside life was just like kind of isolated from them, like they were like in their own like world with like a bunch of
they were never really exposed to anything from what
they're just like in their little soundproof home. They're just like in their bubble, right? Yeah. And like why do you think like they were so obsessed with like the Velt itself? Like why like
I feel like it was an escape from reality. Like they could go wherever they want pretty much and like just live in a different country.
I mean, like I don't really know what was so attractive about like an African savannah, but I mean, I guess after they like thought about it once and then got there, they like figured out like everything that it could like do, I guess, and then they just stayed there. And like they were like so like obsessed with like their parents like death that they like continued with that like over and over, and it like became like kind of like engraved into their minds. Like, that's what they wanted. It was like happy for them because they like saw their parents as like monsters and like control like they like controlled them, but like so that's why they wanted to like kill them.
Would you guys do the same thing though? Like
would I kill my parents? No.
Would I kill my parents?
No.
If you were treated like that as an escape out.
I mean, I would be mad, but I wouldn't go to like those lengths. Like I wouldn't like kill my parents.
I would.
That's just like a personal thing, though. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Gypsy Rose.
So like in that like so like in that instance, like the technology kind of like took over like
their minds, kind of like
and like they're like their family too. Like they
I feel like we can connect that today because technology really perpetuates things in the social life.
Like some people are like so like obsessed with like their like phones. Like I'll see people like walking around with their phones and they just like smack into a wall and they don't even see it. Because they're like on their phones. And like also like texting and driving is like a big danger of technology. People are like addicted. They like can't have like 1 second away from like their phone or like a TV or a screen or anything. People need to learn to live without it. And like in terms of like technology, like do you think that like like in the future, do you think like something could be like how like the house was in the Velt? Like do you think we could have something like that?
I think you can go.
Okay, so I feel like yes, but then also no, because I guess 50 years ago we didn't have like a lot of the things we have now, but then also I feel like we wouldn't go to like that extreme. Like I agree that we have the technology to like be able to do that in the future, but I just don't personally think that like we will.
But I feel like we're already on the track. Like we have like automated blinds. You can turn on and turn off lights on your phone. You can start your car with your phone. Like I feel like everything's already
everything's on your phone. I feel like we are kind of in a way we're like going that direction, but like I don't really think it'll like. I mean, maybe it will, but like I don't think at least in like maybe our lifetimes, I don't think it'll like go to like as extreme as like the Velt.
Do you guys see that Metaverse is like planning on starting like virtual meetings in 3 years? Like they're planning to go all virtual,
but,
and like live in that reality.
I feel like the house things would all be like, I feel like that's possible, but I don't feel like the nursery aspect of it is like actually gonna happen.
Right. Like not to like that point. That's like kind of like a sci-fi like.
But like the rest of the home where it like cooks for you and stuff, I feel like that could happen.
That could.
Because we already have like self-driving cars, so.
What about like talking about like the marionettes, like something like
like a robot or like somebody to do like stuff for you. Do you think that could like be something?
I feel like again we're already on the track of going there.
Like Siri, Siri's basically a robot in your phone.
Roomba.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that like robot vacuum thing.
Yeah, isn't it like China or like Japan or like somewhere in Asia, like they're like making like robots?
Yeah, like
that are self-sufficient, which that's scary. Like
robots are like taking over our jobs.
We're creating another race that's competent to the human race. Like they could.
Yeah. Right? Do you think they could like take over?
Yes.
I think
especially if they give them emotional intelligence. That's like the scary part. Because they can like pretend to be a human because they'll have like the like mental capacity to do that, which is like really scary. And they're like, oh, I'm a robot. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Which that kind of leads us into Free Guy.
Oh.
What if what if we're all robots? Like
that's.
What if like I'm like what if I'm like a person, like a normal person, and you guys are like all robots?
Well, like NPCs.
That's what passes my mind every like day actually. Like what if nothing's real?
Yeah.
What if we are in a simulation?
Yeah, what if this is a simulation or like a game or like
kind of lame simulation.
And like the creator just like makes movies like Free Guy to tease us, to make us think. You know?
And makes us think that we're like not, but like we are.
To make us think we're crazy for even thinking that. Like I don't know.
How do you think like Free Guy would be different if like Guy was like a playable character and like let's say like Millie was looking at.
I feel like it wouldn't have gained as much traction as it did because an NPC with its own mind, it's like a big deal.
They just die and come back and die and come back. So I feel
like the fact that he had his own thoughts and like intelligence is just what made it significant.
And then also it all started because like that person stole the game from Millie. So if Millie wasn't the like controller person, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, no character would be able to think on their own, have their own emotions.
Because she had that code that like made them like gave them emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Right. What do you guys think about like 0 Hour and like how like the children were like influenced?
Yeah, I feel like that's like kind of like a different, sort of a different kind of science fiction because like, and like all like the other ones like it was about like the technology betraying the like the protagonist, but like in 0 Hour it's kind of like the mom like not believing the child, which kind of led to like the betrayal.
Yeah.
But it still had like elements of science fiction, like the aliens.
Speaking of like betrayal, why do you think he like adds that into like his stories, like his science fiction stories?
So I would say like the betrayal kind of like helps like put emphasis on like the science fiction like elements of it. So like in 0 Hour like the children like betrayed the parents, but it was under like the influence and like kind of caused by like the aliens or like whatever, or like the Martians or whatever they called them. But so like it kind of like puts emphasis on like the Martians, like and like this like science fictional like element of it. And then like in the marionettes, like that he used betrayal again, but that's like betrayal by technology. But like that betrayal puts like the emphasis on the technology and like human like aspects of like the robots that
I feel like we're already getting reliant and like on technology and like planning ahead in the future. Like, do I want to get my thoughts into like a hard drive and put into a robot to have like a new body after death? Like, I feel like those are questions that scientists and like people are already asking and like kind of planning for too. Like, it's scary. Like something in our real world can happen like it did in the marionette.
And then I also feel like betrayal is kind of like to warn us of like the dangers of like science fiction, like the dangers of technology and everything like that.
Yeah, I think or you can go.
I think it's important to show it and or like let students who are able to comprehend the consequences of this type of technology, like I think we need someone, not like younger group, but like maybe future scientists, which is our generation, need to read that so like they can be warned about the consequences for something like that.
Yeah. So do you think like Bradbury like mostly like writes these fictional like stories to like be more like optimistic or like just like to warn mostly?
I feel like it's like kind of like honestly it's kind of like a little 50-50. Like I feel like they're like the main purpose of them is to like warn of like what could happen, but like some of it's like it's also like warning of like what could happen if it goes wrong. But if we like do it right and like we like realize like we can have all these cool things, but like with technology, but like we have to like do it right, or else like it could like be bad for us in the future. But if we do it right, it would be like really beneficial.
Yeah,
Right.
Do you guys think he has a reason for making or like not using technology to solve the problems in the stories?
I feel like he kind of has something against technology because in every single story you see like a like surplus of technology, then it turning against them or like something like along those lines. So I feel like he isn't using it to like save the day because he wants to like add like a negative connotation to it to like warn people.
Yeah, do you
Right.
think it's,
I mean,
no, you can continue.
it's like if you think of like the time that he wrote his stories to like now we see technology, like obviously like there's like a bunch of like beneficial like things to it, but then like it's also kind of like taking over like teens and like stuff like that, like we can't even like stay focused.
Did you guys like go like a week without your phone?
Right, like we're so like addicted.
We're so
addicted.
That's sad.
Yeah, I don't think I can go
And
a day.
we're like we're like so reliant on it. Like we have to get everything like right away. Like we have to. Like,
Yeah, we need to become aware of
It's
like
already taken. Oh wait, sorry. Go ahead.
how it's corroding us. I feel like technology is corroding Gen Z, and like it's only gonna get worse as new technology comes out for the younger generations.
Like if you think about it, like we can literally like in a second we can order something, it comes to our door. We can like
like DoorDash.
We want to learn something, we click on a video, we watch it like right away.
I feel like technology is kind of taken away some of our emotional intelligence because we're definitely a lot less patient now. Because in like the past you'd like look stuff up in like books and stuff, and now you just type it in and it's like there. So I feel like it kind of took away like our patience, like as people.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, I think it did take away our emotional intelligence because of like it mutes out real problems. Like you can see the tornadoes that happen and not have any sympathy because it didn't happen near you or anything. Like
same thing with like recent events that have been happening a lot.
Right.
I feel like we're so close to it and so personally connected to it that it like affects us. But if you're like on the other side of like the country, it like doesn't as much anymore.
No. Right. I would say like Bradbury like wrote these things not to like warn about those specific events happening, because obviously like some like time traveling and stuff like that like isn't possible, but like to warn of like future like technological or like future things that like could happen or like that could affect
was, like,
us.
Present with like the butterfly, that he's showing us that like the littlest thing can like set off so much.
Exactly. Yeah, like the creation of our phones, like the iPhone was like kind of like in a way it was like kind of like the butterfly effect. So now it's like stemming to like so many different things that like we just like we can do everything on our phone.
One text message can ruin so many things.
Yeah, that's
like
so
cyberbullying too.
Dude, it's crazy like how
one post.
It's I don't even know.
One person bad mouthing you can cause you to like lose a scholarship like online, even if they have like no proof of it.
It can literally get to a chain, like somebody says something about it, and then like words get twisted, like miscommunication.
Yeah, which
that
comes
goes back to cancel culture.
That kind of about our last like cast. Cancel culture is like a real big thing. Like it's super prevalent.
I guess cancel culture and technology kind of go hand in hand because like even though you can cancel people in real life, I guess it's like kind of like worse to like text out because then everybody like sees it.
Yeah, the whole world's on technology.
Yeah, you can hide behind your phone and say things you would never say in person. And with phones, I feel like comes a savior complex. Like people speak for others, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I think that's very prevalent in today's social culture.
Right. And like so like that goes back to like Bradbury, like that like he wrote he wrote those stories like not in an optimistic way but like to warn.
Yeah, and like a kind of negative connotation with technology.
And also like that technology, like how like we like talked about like in the Marionettes and like 0 Hour, like it had like that main theme of betrayal like with the science fictional elements. So basically he's like using his science fiction like to like communicate like deeper themes that like affect us today.
And I feel like technology is such a wide concept that he can just never stop writing about, or like there'll never stop being science fiction stories because
there's so much that can be possible with technology. Like I guess it's like do you guys know how there's like one circle and there's like a bunch of like things going on, like the mind bubble? I feel like that's what it is. Like there's technology and then there's like so many different like aspects to it.
Yeah, so many things can happen with it.
Which I kind of wish I grew up in like an era that didn't have phones.
Me too.
Especially after talking about this with you guys, I
imagine,
really wish
imagine how freeing that would be, like not having to talk to anyone outside of school. Like how many altercations wouldn't have happened without
how
your phone.
How much drama would just be like avoided.
That'd be so nice.
And how much better our communication skills would be.
Yeah, we could
okay, online you can like text about your feelings and not say it in person and just like keep quiet in person. Like do you guys remember this? We talked about this in like the girls retreat thing too.
Oh yeah.
It was like you shouldn't say things online because you don't know like really how the other person feels.
Yeah.
And like I feel like if you're talking about it in person with them, they're also like less likely to like turn around and like badmouth you to other people. versus like online, because I guess it can be taken in the wrong way.
Yeah, like I don't know, personally, like I'm I'm pretty a sarcastic person, so
Me
like
too,
some like if I like say something like I hate you, like
sarcasm doesn't come across on text.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not at all.
Everything can be taken wrong.
It can be
like
so literally.
in person, like I hate you, like just like as it's like so, but if I like you can't like really like
if I got a text from somebody that just said I hate you, like I wouldn't assume that they're being sarcastic.
Some people don't have inner monologues in their head to like read that with sarcasm.
Yeah.
So like they can read it literally, and like that's a dangerous thing that comes with technology as well.
Like, most people do, because you can't really like tell like the what your like voice is like
emphasizing.
Yeah, you can't like really like tell like the tone.
That's why my parents suggest when you're fighting with someone, call them or talk in person, because texting will,
or like FaceTime them so you can see their expression.
Yeah, texting just does not work with like
friendships.
Fights.
Right. Yeah, that's so true.
Do you guys like think that like science fiction should be like read in schools, or do you and like that's good that it's like read in some schools, and like what ages do you think should read it?
I think it's really good.
Like I said, I feel like it's important for future job holders, like scientists, which high school again, like they need to know the consequences of technology and also the good that could come with it, so that they can prevent future problems with it from coming.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's like really good in like the warning aspects of it. But then once again, how old do you guys think?
I say like any age.
Yeah, literally like,
read it like for fun. Like some of these stories like little kids are like Wally or something. Like little kids can read it.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't understand like the deeper meanings behind it.
It's like kind of like how cartoons have like deeper meanings for like that are really for like the parents.
Okay.
If you like show like a kid's cartoon.
I feel like being exposed at such a young age will just like tone out anything technology that's different and could be bad, like does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true.
So like I don't know, it's a hard.
I feel like if you read The Veldt as like a child and you don't grasp the fact that they're like gone, like how I think Mr. Like said this, like he was like when you're a kid you don't like know anything about like death, like you don't understand the concept of it. So I feel like if you're reading that as a kid you're like, oh my god, that's so cool, like they get to do whatever they want for a little bit and then their parents will come back, but like that's not like really the case.
But I would say it's like good that we're reading it now and like we're like grasping all these like deeper meanings and like themes that like are communicated in these
I think
stories.
it's like certain science fiction stories that like we can read like as like little kids, but like something like The Vault I probably wouldn't want to read until like maybe like I was in middle school.
Definitely not. I feel like I guess 12 plus. I feel like
that sounds like if like anybody can read it, but like to
grasp it, like understand the meaning. I feel like 12 plus.
Right.
But I guess it also depends on the person and like how emotionally or like kind of mentally advanced
conscious
they
you are.
Yeah, how like emotionally like conscious you are.
It's weird, like everyone becomes conscious at like a different age.
Like your brain doesn't stop developing until like you're 25. So I mean I guess there's no like specific age, because some people will like finally gain that at like 24 versus other people who gain it at like 12. So
right. And like back to like the movie, do you think like kids would watch that movie and like understand like this?
I feel like it's just like a high.
It's funny. Like, it's like happy. And like it's like so like sunny there and stuff, and it's so bright that like all the kids like wouldn't like understand like the like.
I feel like they'd want to play the game.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Can I play Free Guy?"
Yeah, it's like Fortnite.
Yeah, and like especially with like Antoine, like the guy who like stole it, they definitely would not understand that at all.
No.
That's true. Right. Yeah, they're I don't think they'd understand that like Antoine.
They'd definitely be like, oh.
Like,
and like,
I do the same thing.
Yeah, literally. And then they would just like watching things like I guess blow up and stuff, because there's like a bunch of like that stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't understand like what it is. Right. How dangerous that could be.
And like what about like the story like the marionettes? Like they wouldn't understand like relationships and like relationship problems, that they would want like a marionette to take over them.
Yeah, I would like be like interested by that. I'd be like, oh, I want a marionette or like something like that if I was like a kid.
Right, they wouldn't like actually understand things like deeper.
But now that I'm like older, I like understand it and like how like the dangers.
Right.
Which I think we're aware with the problems technology causes. We're just so like addicted that we don't care.
Yeah. Like I know.
Would you say like technology has like more like benefits or like?
Well, I guess with things like how recent events have like happened and like how technology kind of warned us all to like stay alert and stuff. I mean, I guess it's like good in that way, and like tornado alerts and like alarms. But then I also feel like it's like bad in like some ways.
Yeah, like
misuse of it is bad.
Yes. That's
right.
Yeah.
So it can be used for like good and bad,
Mhm.
basically. But I guess there would be like.
I don't think we should rely on it to solve world issues.
But I don't think we can get rid of it either.
No.
But yeah, because we've like advanced so far that it's like hard to get rid of it. And like we rely on it like for like so many things.
And it is very, very useful to like call the police super fast and like just like defend yourself, I guess, because there's a lot of things you can use to like help you that are like available.
Yeah.
Technology.
Right.
I agree.
So I think does that wrap us up?
That brings us to the end of our lit cast, our last lit cast
For this
together.
semester.
Yeah.
Aww.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah.
I love talking.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
I love the option of like cast.
Talking is my strong suit.
Thank you, Mr. Lilac.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you for watching.
Yes,
Oh,
thank you for watching, Mr. Lilac.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed our
Like, subscribe, and
Follow us.
share the link.
Copy link.
Copy link.
Watch it 10 times so we get more views.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.